We're here with Associate Head Coach Adam Pennington, who's preparing his sprints teams for the Outdoor Conference Championships in New Orleans this weekend. Coach, you have a lot of exciting potential this weekend. How do you think it'll play out?
I think we'll be fine. I think that this season's been a little bit different from the previous season just because the way our meet schedule was set up. Home meet being canceled by some rain, kind of a late meet to Houston that we weren't prepared for. Usually like to deload, certain days out. So, I mean, it's a little different preparing, but I do think we're ready, and I do think that we'll be fine when we show up to conference. These kids are competitors. They know what they're doing, and they've been in this type of situation where they just got to compete, and whatever the circumstances are, just go with it.
Okay. And after last year's finish at Corpus Christi and then a strong indoor season, expectations have been high throughout the season. How has the team managed those expectations throughout the year?
I think they've handled them fine. I think I've probably put a little bit too much pressure on myself because of the high expectations we do have, So I feel like even on our worst days, worst competition, I still think we're better than the majority of our competition, even on our worst days. So I think that's a plus, we have high expectations of this group because they're a very talented group, So of course we expect big things week in and week out, but they're ready for some high-level competition. These meets that they show up, not that they don't have a lot of competition, but it's just kind of like it's a meet every week, and they're just kind of ready for something to ward them, something on the line, some championships, some medals, move on to the next round. Those things excite these kids. So I think when we show up, they'll be ready to go.
Okay. Your Lady Demon Sprints teams earned 6 of the conference top marks. What does that do for the confidence heading into the weekend?
They're confident. They're good. They're one of the best sprints group I feel, not only in our conference but in this country. I think these ladies really show up and don't take anything to their head. They're very humble kids. So they know that if they don't get out there and just compete, that they can't just go out there with it, thinking they're going to win and just win it. So they're very humble kids. So they know this conference is stronger than what people probably give them credit for, and there's some pretty good teams out there with some pretty good athletes and some pretty good sprinters. So again, if we just don't show up, then our kids will get beat. So they know these things. So I think they'll take it to the more than anything. I think they just don't take anything for granted. So they'll show up and be ready.
Yeah. And Shadeland Jones has a hand in 5 of those Southland leading marks. How important is she to the team's success this week?
Very valuable. She's came a long way. She's out of high school, not a very highly recruited girl, and over the last 2 years, she's progressed slowly, and now she's to the point where she's really excelled, and she's starting to do some big things, not only conference but nationally. I think she's top 30 every 3 events in the region for sure. So top 50 in the country. So it's gonna be hard when we get to the next rounds to decide what she's gonna run. That's our biggest problem. So and right now we're still a little undecided what she's running at conference. So we'll just keep that a secret until that time comes.
All right, until she lines up.
Yep.
And the Demons returned gold medal winners Michael Larkins in the 100, Amir James in the 200, and George Faviano in the 400 hurdles. What does it mean to return that experience, not only in their individual events, but also
Experience is huge. Those guys are All-Americans, all 3 of them. So when they show up, they've seen it all. They've been to USA championships. They've competed at national championships. So these guys aren't scared of those things. So it just depends on who's going to show up the healthiest and freshest and ready to go. And we're pretty healthy and fresh, so I'm confident we'll be ready. But those guys, they want to defend their titles, and even if it's amongst each other, beating each other, as long as we're sitting 1, 2, or whatever it is in that podium in that 100 and 200, I don't really care who's 1 or 2. I want those guys to go out and have fun and just compete and at the end of the day, respect one another and respect their competition. And besides that, I think everything else will take care of itself.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
All right. Thank you.